What's up, goal reachers, dream catchers, and lifestyle giants? Thank you for tuning into the Win on Purpose podcast. It's where we make winning a habit, losing prehistoric, and we aim to live our very best lives every single day. I'm your host, Vocals, and I'm ready to dive in. Now, as we all know, we're entering into a new year and coming to the close of another decade. We are about to be in the year of 2020. Can you believe it? If we haven't learned anything by now, one thing that we know for sure is that time waits for no one. Time literally waits for no man, woman, boy, or girl. And life keeps going whether we keep going or not. And as we embark on this new year and new decade, I want to leave you with this question to ponder. Will you leap? Again, I want to leave you with this question to ponder. Will you leap? And I know it's a loaded question, but it all stemmed from this Zen principle, which says, leap and the net will appear. Leap and the net will appear. And for those of you who are unsure about Zen or where that comes from, it is a part of the Buddhist religion or practice that emphasizes the practice of meditation and intuition. And again, that principle says, leap and the net will appear. Let's go. Now, as we move out of 2019, I want you to answer this question for your life and your destiny. Will you leap? 2020, the upcoming year, is actually a leap year. And if you don't know, leap years have an extra day in February. So instead of there being 28 days in February, there are actually 29. And leap years occurs every 4 years. So I believe this question is fitting for several reasons. And especially since we're entering into a leap year, we really got to ask ourselves personally, on a personal level, will we leap? And here are some of the questions that we have to answer as we move into 2020. Here are some questions that'll kind of get us into that whole mindset of moving and stepping out. We have to ask ourselves, will I step up this year? Will I do it afraid? And whatever that it may be for you, will I do it afraid? Will I do what I need to do to make my dreams come true? Will I let go of past mistakes so I can finally step into my future? Will I take that leap of faith into the unknown and take some risks to get where I want to go? Will you leap? Leap and the net will appear. It's a statement of faith. Leap and the net will appear is a statement of faith. It's saying that we have to make the first move. We have to take the first step. We have to go even when we don't see a clear path ahead of us. But when we make that leap of faith, we say to ourselves, to God, and to the universe that we believe in us. We believe in our purpose more than we can see. We believe enough in our dreams that we leap because we know that the net is there to catch us even if we can't see it at the moment. And more often than not, when we set out to do things outside of the norm, the path will seem unclear, bleak, scary, dark, fuzzy, everything. And we don't really know how we're going to get from point A to point B. But those that succeed abide by the Zen principle, which again says, leap and the net will appear. Those that succeed abide by the Christian principle, which says, walk by faith and not by sight. Author and alternative medicine advocate Deepak Chopra says, the universe has no restrictions. You place restrictions on the universe with your expectations. The universe has no restrictions. You place restrictions on the universe based on your expectations. We place restrictions on the universe. We place restrictions on the opportunities that come to us. We place restrictions on how far we go based on our expectations. We place restrictions on the level and the quality of people that come around us based on our expectations. Let's go. And I want you to really seriously think about this. I know at the end of every year, people are always in this whole, okay, we're going to do more. We're going to do this. We're going to do that kind of mode. Like we set all of these things that we're going to do and never really have a plan as to how we're going to do it. We just think just because we wrote a list, that list is going to happen, like, or because we set a goal, it's just going to automatically come because we said it. No, it's not like that. And we have to really like dig deep and ask ourselves some serious questions. Like, are you expecting to just this year to just be another year of the same old, same old? Are you expecting to go to another level this year? Are you expecting to go to the same job that's boring and you can't stand being there? You don't like the people. You don't like the environment. Are you going to just actually venture out and try to get that promotion or get that new job? Start applying. Like, what are you expecting in this year? Are you expecting to keep talking about what you want to do, what you would like to do? Or are you going to actually step out and do it in this year? Like, it's just time to stop talking and be more about doing. Let's do. And please understand. Please, please, please understand. I know that winning and taking chances, all of that comes at a cost. Understand that things won't be easy. I know that just because you are expecting to win and you're taking leaps and that you're venturing out there, that does not by any means mean that trouble, problems, adversity won't come, because it will come. Adversity will come. And when you take that leap of faith, it'll seem as if hell opened up its doors and unleashed everything in its arsenal to knock you off your purpose. But you got to know that whatever is thrown at you, somebody somewhere experienced it and conquered it, and they kept going. And on a personal note, 2019 threw things at me that I never imagined I would experience. I literally got knocked on my face this year. I thought I was literally going to die this year. Like, I really did not think in May that I would be here in December talking to you guys. But with the help of a great, good God and my awesome family and friends, and to be honest, chemical help and therapy, I'm now in the process of bouncing back. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting better, and I'm expecting great things to happen in 2020. I'm expecting things that didn't happen in 2019 to happen in 2020. I'm expecting the scale to finally show the number that I want to see, because like literally this year I know I gained at least 20 pounds, and I'm like, now I gotta fight to get this crap off. But I'm really expecting great things to happen, and I'm not just gonna say it, and I'm not going to expect great things to happen because I am just thinking about great things happen. No, I'm going to actually put forth the legwork, the effort to ensure that 2020 is a good year for me. Businessman John A. Shedd was quoted as saying, "A ship in harbor is safe, but that's not what ships are built for." A ship in harbor is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. We were not built to play it safe. We were not built to live in hiding, too afraid to live, too afraid to die, just afraid. We were not built to live in fear. Those dreams and ideas that you have were not given to you just for you to think about them and ponder on them for 5-10 years and just never make any effort to make them come true. You were given those dreams and the desires for a reason. You may not be the originator of it, but you know what? That makes your work a little bit easier, because now you have a cheat code. Now you have a roadmap to follow.
Let's go.
School have these classes. They call enrichment classes. In those classes, they teach the kids different skills, like anything that's not based on their regular learning. It could be like something more like extracurricular, such as drawing, like international music, anything. But my son decided to take the Rubik's Cube class. And before he signed up for that, it had been a while since I actually seen a Rubik's Cube. And I always wanted to solve one, but I was never able to solve even one color. And I just remember like sitting on the couch at my grandmother's house, and my cousins had like a Rubik's Cube, and I remember just tinkering around and playing with it, and I would do it for hours and days, and I was just never able to solve it. So in his class, like a couple of weeks ago, they taught them how to solve a color. And like every day my son, he would come home and be like, "Mommy, I can solve a color in 1.5 seconds or whatever." And, I'm just watching him and watching him and watching him. And I'm like, okay, hold on. I'm not going to let you solve this Rubik's Cube before I do, because they may actually teach you how to solve this thing. So I was like, no, I'm going to figure out. I don't know how, but I'm going to figure out how to solve this thing. So the first place I went was the world's Bible. I went to the internet. And from the internet, I found myself on YouTube. And it took me, to be honest, it took me a few days because I had to find somebody that could actually teach me. Just because somebody teaches, that don't mean they can teach you. So I had to find somebody that could teach me, and to the point to where I could understand it. And I will say, it took me a minute to get to the top, but I finally got it now. And I will say that I now know how to solve a Rubik's Cube, and I don't need YouTube to solve it anymore. I can solve it, and I can solve it from memory. And I said that to say this: you can learn how to do pretty much any and everything that you want to learn on the internet. And there's absolutely no reason anyone can say, I don't know how to do this. Because again, you can pretty much find anything you want to learn. You can figure out how to do it on the internet. If you want to be better at social media, ask the internet. If you want tips on public speaking, ask the internet. If you want to figure out what you need in order to enroll in school, ask the internet. It's all there. Poet and philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson was quoted as saying, "Don't be too timid and squeamish about your actions. All of life is an experiment. The more experiments you make, the better." Don't be too timid and squeamish about your actions. All of life is an experiment. The more experiments you make, the better. Take the pressure off yourself. Give yourself a break if you need to. See this journey as an experiment. You're trying something out. And starting out, you're not going to be perfect. You are not going to be perfect. And you're going to want to quit, and you're going to quit. But in all of that, you'll learn how to do things better. You'll learn what to do and what not to do. And the things that seem so detrimental at one stage in your life, hopefully you'll be able to look back at that and see the many things that you learned during that period of time. But you will only be able to look back and smile if you make the leap and don't quit. Author and motivational speaker Gary Vaynerchuk says, "Don't ever let your circumstances determine your outcome. You are bigger and better than that. You can always control your own destiny. Use what you've got, find what you don't, and make your dreams come true." Don't ever let your circumstances determine your outcome. You are bigger and better than that. You can always control your destiny. Use what you've got, find what you don't, and make your dreams come true. Use what you got, find what you don't, and make your dreams come true. I'm going to say that one more time. Use what you've got, find what you don't, and make your dreams come true. Will you leap? Again, that's the question we have to ask ourselves. Will I leap? Will 2020 be the year that you step out on faith, or will it be business as usual for you? Are you going to go for that promotion this year, or are you going to continue to let your brain die in this same old blame position that you're in right now? Are you going to start that business, or are you going to continue to let those negative voices in your head control your destiny? Are you going to finally lose weight that you've been talking about losing for umpteen years? Or are you going to just continue to allow yourself to be controlled by food? Will you leap? Let's go. Speaker and minister Sarah Jakes Roberts says, "Embrace the uncomfortable to become unstoppable." Embrace the uncomfortable to become unstoppable. Listen, again, I want to make sure you all know that just because you make the decision to leave does not mean everything is going to be easy. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have hardships. There will be times when you feel uneasy. You're going to lose some sleep. But I believe whatever we experience, we'll be able to look back on it and say with confidence, it was worth it. After all that I've lost over the years and everything that I've experienced, all the stuff that was stolen from me, the embarrassment, everything that I've gone through, I believe that I didn't go through that for nothing. The pain, the tears, I didn't go through that for nothing. So again, I ask, will you leap? Author and life coach Barbara Shearer says, when you play it too safe, you're taking the biggest risk of your life. Time is the only wealth we're given. When you play it too safe, you're taking the biggest risk of your life. Time is the only wealth we're given. What are you going to do with the wealth of time that you have? Will you use it to leap into your destiny, or are you going to just watch time pass you by? Before you know it, we'll be entering another decade. And what will you be able to say that you have done in this decade? And before 2019 ends, I suggest we all take inventory of our lives and make a list of the things that we refuse to take into the new year. That's a practice that my therapist told me to do. Make a list of all the things that we say, nope, this is not going into 2020. And some of it may be some people that's not going into 2020, like for real. Before December 31st, make that list. And don't just make the leave behind list, but also make a list of the things that you want to carry on in 2020. What are some things you want to add to yourself? What are some things that you want to learn? Because whatever you remove, you got to replace it with something. Because if you don't, that thing will come right back. But don't let another year pass you by without you completing at least one of those things on your list. Don't put 50 things, or you can put how many ever you want, but just be realistic with yourself. Like, I know that I can focus on this one thing and get this one thing done, or two things. I know I can do this and get these things done. But don't let another year pass you by without doing what you set out to do for yourself. Here are today's key takeaways. Number 1. Before January 1st, 2020, decide if you will take that leap of faith and do what you desire to do. Number 2, use the internet to learn a new skill that you may need. Number 3, make a list of the things that you plan to leave behind in 2019. Number 4, make a list of the things that you plan to achieve in 2020. Here are the quotes from today's Will You Leap podcast. The Zen quote says, "Leap and the net will appear." Deepak Chopra says, "The universe has no restrictions. You place restrictions on the universe with your expectations." John A. Shedd was quoted as saying, "A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for." Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Don't be too timid and squeamish about your actions. All life is an experiment. The more experiments you make, the better." Gary Vaynerchuk says, "Don't ever let your circumstances determine your outcome. You are bigger and better than that. You can always control your own destiny. Use what you've got, find what you don't, and make your dreams come true." Sarah Jakes Roberts said, "Embrace the uncomfortable to become unstoppable." Barbara Shearer said, "When you play it too safe, you're taking the biggest risk of your life. Time is the only wealth we're given." So thank you for listening to the Win on Purpose podcast. I hope something was said that sparks a fire in you, and I hope you feel determined to use the 366 days in 2020 to do something great, magical, and break some generational curses. And always remember that in everything you aspire to do, remain positive. And as we're finishing up the holiday season, don't forget to check on somebody who may be feeling a little down. A lot of people lost loved ones this year. They went through rough times. Just send them a text or invite them to dinner or something you may be having, or go see fireworks or something. But make sure you check on somebody in this season. Okay? So don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to this podcast. I will see you in 2020. It's your girl Vocals. And for the last time in 2019, I am signing off.